Lacey Monroe was 16 years old, a sophomore at a high school in Ohio. She wasn't the girl who stood out. She was just trying to survive. Her mother was serving 4 years in prison for writing bad checks. Her father? He'd vanished years ago, leaving no trace. No siblings, no close friends, just Lacey, a worn-out suitcase, and a small room in her grandfather's modest house. There's something deeply unsettling about a killer who smiles when they hear their death sentence. Not a nervous grin, not a flicker of regret, but a cold, calculated smile, like they're seeing something only they understand. This isn't just another murder story. It's about trust, envy, and a friendship that turned into a nightmare. It began in a quiet corner of Ohio and ended in a courtroom where justice came too late.
Smile for the devil.
Then she met Breonna Keller, a 23-year-old living down the street with her grandmother in a weathered duplex. Despite the 7-year age gap, they clicked instantly. Late-night talks over cheap coffee, binge-watching movies, sharing secrets under the glow of a porch light. For Lacey, it was like finding the sister she never had. She even told her classmates, "Breonna's like my cousin. Honestly, she's my sister." And she meant every word. Lacey shared everything, her clothes, her snacks, even her brand new shoes before she'd worn them herself. But Breonna, she wasn't the same. Something inside her was shifting, and jealousy crept in like poison. Lacey had worked 2 part-time jobs all summer, flipping burgers and stocking shelves, to buy the latest iPhone. It was her pride and joy, a symbol of her hard work. One humid afternoon, they were hanging out at Breonna's duplex, sprawled on the couch, messing around with each other's phones. Then it happened. Lacey accidentally dropped Breonna's phone, and the screen shattered on the hardwood floor. "Oh my God, Breonna, I'm so sorry. I'll pay for it," Lacey stammered, her hands shaking. But Breonna's face changed, her eyes narrowed, her voice cut like glass. "No need," she said. "Just give me yours." Lacey froze. "Wait, what?" she asked, her heart pounding. "You broke mine. Yours is the replacement," Breonna replied, not blinking. Lacey tried to reason. She offered to pay for the repair, to make it right. But Breonna wouldn't hear it. That's when everything fell apart. Breonna stormed out of the living room, her footsteps echoing on the creaky floor. Lacey sat there thinking maybe Breonna just needed to cool off. She was wrong. Breonna came back holding a large kitchen knife, its blade glinting in the dim light. There was no warning, no words, just violence. One thrust, then another. Blood poured onto the faded carpet. Lacey tried to scream, tried to fight, but it was over in seconds. And Breonna? She just walked out, leaving Lacey's body behind. 3 days passed in the sticky Ohio summer, the air thick with heat. The smell of decomposition seeped into the hallway of the duplex. Neighbors noticed and called the landlord, complaining about a foul odor. Breonna came back at dawn, opening the door to a wall of stench. There was Lacey's body, bloated, discolored, barely recognizable. Her heart raced. She knew she couldn't hide this forever. So she called someone she trusted, Colton Hayes, the guy who'd helped her find the duplex. Colton didn't call the police or urge her to turn herself in. Instead, he said, "Burn everything. Get rid of the body." Breonna listened, buying a can of gasoline from a nearby station. She poured it over Lacey's body and lit a match. Flames roared, but she panicked. If neighbors saw, they'd call for help. She grabbed a bucket of water, doused the flames, and collapsed, trembling. What happened next is almost too horrific to say. Brianna took the same kitchen knife and a stack of trash bags. She dismembered her friend's body, arms, legs, head. She packed them into 2 black bags, sealing away the girl who'd called her a sister. At 4:30 a.m., when the world was dark, she hailed a rideshare. She carried the bags like they were nothing, like they were just garbage. The rideshare driver, Ethan, noticed the smell as soon as Brianna slid into the back seat. "What's in the bags?" he asked, glancing at her. "Spoiled meat," she said calmly, "just keeping animals from getting into it." Ethan didn't push, even offering to help. He tossed the bags into a nearby canal, thinking he was doing a favor. Then he dropped her off and drove away, unaware of the horror he helped hide. Brianna went home, washed the knife, scrubbed the floor, and opened every window. Then she texted her landlord, "Sorry for the smell. I left some raw meat out. My bad." That same day, teens walking near the canal spotted the bags floating in the water. One, bold or curious, opened a bag. Inside was a human head. The police swarmed the area, pulling the bags from the water. Surveillance footage led to Ethan's car, and he told them everything. They followed him to Brianna's duplex and knocked. She opened the door, her eyes locked with Ethan's, and she knew it was over. They searched the apartment, finding blood under the carpet and a single tooth near the sink. Brianna confessed on the spot. No tears, no begging, just the truth. Lacey's remains were sent to the state coroner, and DNA confirmed her identity. Brianna was charged with first-degree murder, Colton with aiding and abetting. In the courtroom, everyone watched Brianna, waiting for her to break, to show humanity. In the courtroom, the judge looked her in the eye and said, "You are hereby sentenced to death by lethal injection." And then she smiled. Not a nervous grin, not regret, but a cold, wide, eerie smile. For a moment, she looked toward the back of the courtroom, as if someone was waiting for her. This isn't just a story about murder. It's about trust twisted into something deadly. Lacey thought she'd found a sister, someone to share her dreams and fears. What she found was a shadow that took everything and gave back a knife. That smile in the courtroom? It'll haunt everyone who saw it forever. So be careful who you call family, because sometimes the devil comes disguised as your closest friend.
If you've made it this far, it means you've engaged with the story, and I hope you'll engage with this video as well. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. See you in the next one.